This video is for the intermediate violins and violas who are supposed to work on numbers 26, 27, 31, and 32 from your Essential Elements Book 1. Okay? So if you open up your book, it should be page 10. This is violins and violas. Cellos, you'll probably have a separate video. I want you to look at Caribbean Island. Okay? Now make sure that when you bring your instrument up to you, not only is it at your left shoulder, but that your wrist is back. If you have tapes on your fingerboard, your thumb should sit between the first and second piece of tape, but not all the way back here by the scroll. It should be a little bit up, okay? Not all the way up like that. Kind of where your thumb tip is can be against the neck, right? My thumb's not all the way up here, but it's not also down there. It's kind of right in the middle. And my fingers, right, are ready to play. If my wrist is here, it's going to make it a lot harder for you to stretch, especially when you get to use fourth finger. Not in these exercises, but later. So I want you to do the best that you can of keeping your wrist away from the body of the instrument. Your bow, I see a lot of this, and I see a lot of this. Neither is what I want you to do. I want you to make sure that your thumb is curled inside the frog. Right? Notice how my thumb is bent. My pointer finger lies against the grip. These two fingers come down, and your pinky rests on top of its fingertip. You will have to practice being able to hold your bow like this, and it'll take time because you have to build muscles in your hand. So I would take a pencil. Let me get a pencil. And in class, I would practice holding your bow the same way, making sure your thumb is curled, pretending it's at the frog, pointer finger rests on the grip, these two fingers come down, and your pinky sits on top, just like this, okay? And I might practice bowing like this in the air so that I can get used to holding my bow, so that I can build up enough muscle to be able to hold my bow here, okay? Just like this. Not like this and not like this. So if you see that on yourself, I want you to check yourself in the mirror and get ready to hold the bow like this, okay? Next, let's go to Caribbean Island. You're going to start 3 fingers down on A, which will create the note D. Okay, if you have tapes, please make sure you're covering your tapes. Make sure third finger is on the correct piece of tape, okay? Ready? 1, 2, ready, and D, D, C sharp, D, D, open D, rest. Repeat. D, rest. Watch how my arm moves when I go from 3 fingers down to open D. Because I know that I have to reach around in order to get to that open D string. So please try your hardest to not only make sure your fingers are on the tape and that your notes blend with mine. When we talked about intonation, we talked about notes that blend together because that means they're the same pitch, which they should be. So if you don't match with me, please take the time to listen to me play and then maybe pluck along, right? And finger the notes along silently so that you can really get used to where your fingers should be. Be careful of your rests and also be careful of your bowing, okay? Going on to number 27, you have Olympic high jump, okay? Olympic high jump uses the same notes as Caribbean Island did, and it also has that cross from 3 fingers down on A to open D, which is the very first thing you do. And if you remember, we talked about that bracket between the notes. Like if you look at your very first measure of Olympic high jump, you see a bracket underneath D, third finger on A, to D, open D. That means that they want you to keep your fingers down as you cross the string. So it should look like this. Now I didn't move my fingers at all, but my fingers are so nice and curled that you can see there's a tunnel here. We sometimes call this an anchor because that helps keep our fingers anchored down so that when we come back from playing open D, we're already on A, okay? So whenever I play D and then open D, I have such a clear space that my D can still vibrate because my fingers aren't touching it. So see if you can experiment with curling your fingers, bringing your elbow around towards you, not away from you like this, but towards you, right? Towards your stomach, so that your fingers are nice and curled. So let's see if you can practice that while we play Olympic high jump. Ready? And. rest. Repeat. Rest. Rest. Okay, so just be careful. Be careful not to hit any other strings. Like you heard Miss Smith hit the open E string when she was playing. That's because she was moving to try to show you, but just be careful that you're not moving too much so that you don't hit any other open strings, okay? Check the next video for 31 and 32, but violas, remember whenever you play that you're not playing on the same string as the violins, right? You have to make sure you find your D string, which should be here, right? It should be this string on your instrument, right? Not this string. So just be careful that when you're playing, you're not playing on this, but you're playing on your second highest string. Okay? All right, happy practicing.